The impact of human trafficking on women, men, and families is a cause for concern in Western Massachusetts. In Springfield, police have been working with residents of the South End, who police say have identified human trafficking as a persistent issue affecting quality of life. Now, several law enforcement agencies, as well as the business community, are working together to combat the problem and help those victimized by it. Carolee McGrath reports.
In the south end of Springfield, construction is moving ahead on the MGM Casino, which city leaders say will bring in thousands of jobs and revitalize the area. In the backdrop, South End residents have reported prostitution, known as human trafficking, as a big problem, according to law enforcement. Springfield Police Department's C3 South End initiative has put a focus on the issue, and top law enforcement officers in the county have made it a priority.
It often involves coercion, threats, physical violence, the use of addiction really as a tool to control somebody.
Hamden District Attorney Anthony Gallooni announced a new human trafficking enforcement and education initiative. He's joining forces with the Hamden County Sheriff's Department, the Mass State Police, the Massachusetts Office of Probation, and the Springfield Police Department, as well as law enforcement in surrounding communities.
Human trafficking and prostitution has become, I think, more common in the last few years, I think driven to some degree by the opiate crisis. The fact that we have a lot of people, and in particular women, who are suffering from addiction and who find themselves in very desperate situations.
The initiative includes both education and enforcement. Police will step up patrols targeting areas known for prostitution. The big focus will be on the Johns.
We've really tried to change the paradigm of how law enforcement interacts or deals with prostitution and human trafficking. By instead of focusing on the prostitute or really the victim as a criminal defendant, arresting that person and bringing them in a traditional way into a courthouse, into the criminal justice system, very often only to be turned around after a short term of probation, after a fine, or maybe after a small stint in jail, back into the same situation they found themselves in before that interaction with the criminal justice system. We're now really treating them as victims.
Part of this initiative is a class for the Johns, or those who solicit the prostitutes. It'll be held at the Hamden County Jail and House of Correction in Ludlow. The idea is to cut down on the demand, and it's modeled after a successful program in Worcester. It's called the CART program, which stands for Community Approach to Reduce Demand. Nick Kochi is the Hamden County Sheriff.
What we're trying to say in a very clear way is, if you want to engage in that behavior, you are going to be exploited. Your picture's going to be on the news, your name's going to be there, and really it's about, again, shaming them into, you have good family members, you have hopefully a nice support system at home, and who are you really hurting? You're hurting the victim, the person you're soliciting, and you're hurting your family members because you're selfish and you're exercising in activities that are illegal. We're hoping that this works. Human trafficking is real in Hamden County. We need to fragment what's going on, and we need to educate and treat the men and women who are looking for help to change the pattern of their lives.